Today we're going to be making one of these mini charcuterie buffets as an end of year teacher gift. You're going to need all the things that are on the table here. The boxes I'm explaining on the screen now, and then you'll need some crackers, crisps, grapes, cheese, some meats, pork pie and just some chocolate treats in there. This is for 2 people and you won't use all of this. You will have some of it left over. So let's get into the video and I'll show you how I made it. I'm starting off with my smaller box. This is just the box that I'm going to use to put all the charcuterie in. I'm putting it in a separate one because that way when it gets into school the teacher can actually take it out and put it into the fridge and things won't get ruined. So I've chosen this shortbread box just because it was small enough to fit inside the cereal box and because it's deep enough that I can cut it into 2 so I can get 2 trays out of it. It will make sense in a second. And then this is my cereal box that again I'm cutting in half the same way as I did my shortbread box. That's one big box for everything to go in and then the shortbread for the smaller one. You can actually wrap these boxes in wrapping paper if you like, but I am short for time so I am going to use tin foil. You'll see I've got 2 pieces of tin foil and I've just pleated them in the middle and then I've opened them out so they actually fit around the box. If you've got wide tin foil then you can skip this, but my tin foil isn't very wide. And then I've just done exactly the same with my smaller box, and then all I'm going to do is, because this is going to have the charcuterie in it, I'm going to cut up some greaseproof paper and just make a square of it to fit into the bottom so all the cheese and the meats and everything can sit onto that. Once that's all done then I can start prepping my food ready to pop in it. So I'm going to start off with my cheese. Now this is a huge box of cheese. It costs £4.50, but I'm not going to use all of it. You will at most need half of this. I still actually cut a little bit too much. I've just cut a chunk off and then I'm going to cut it into slices. I'm going to make sure that I cut these into different shapes to go in the box because it really does make a difference with when you're laying everything out. So the first few there I'm just cutting into rectangles, and then I've got a few more slices and I've cut them into a square and then into triangles. It makes such a difference when the shapes are different. So just lay them out into the box. You'll notice that I've sort of staggered them, and that really helps with filling out the space and it gives it a bit of dimension as well. And you will have to move these around a bit, so don't worry about that. I'm going to put in some of my chorizo. Now actually in hindsight I think I would have preferred just to have 2 lots of salami in there. I only used half the pack of chorizo, so I could have just bought 1 pack of salami and that would have done for 2. The chorizo is lovely. It's a really nice colour. It makes such a difference in it, but it is so fiddly to work with. So I'm just trying to make it into sort of like ribbon shapes here or little roses, and I'm just going to pop them into the box in different places. This is how you build the whole box. You just see where there's a little gap and you pop it in. It looks terrible at this stage, but you need to trust the process because it does get better as it goes along. I don't always use everything as well. I sometimes just leave bits at the side because you might need little bits to fill in. There you go. You can see I'm putting a little bit more cheese in the middle because I needed to fill some in. So next, here you go. I've got my salami. Again, I cut it in half because these boxes are shallow. It just works really well. You can see here that this was much easier to make into ribbons. So if you are trying to keep to a budget, then just forget the chorizo. Buy 1 pack of salami. It will do 2 boxes easily. It kept falling over there, so I put in some little cheese blocks to fill it up, and I've cleared out a corner there and popped in a pork pie. And this is a little game changer because it actually does fill up quite a bit of the box and it gives it a completely different style and look as well. So then I've just got some grapes. I've got red grapes and green grapes. I was going to just use green grapes and then put in some strawberries, but the strawberries in the supermarket just look terrible. So I took red grapes and green ones. It's just putting in different colours to make that box sort of pop and stand out. You can see now the green grapes are going in that it starts to look totally different. I'm just adding in a little bit more there of the salami because obviously I found a little bit of a space, and now I need to move a bit of cheese around. It just move the bits around. It just all fits in. When I said trust the process, trust the process. By this point, you'll be able to see it coming together really easily. The last little thing I do is I just get some of these chocolate coated pretzels and I just pop them in because they add that little sweet treat and they really sort of highlight all the colours in the box, I think. So once I've done that, pop it into your tray. The only step I've missed out here showing you is that I would normally cling film over that fresh part, that so the teacher can take that out and pop it into the fridge and it won't get ruined. Then you pop in your crackers, pop in your crisps, and there it is. A mini charcuterie buffet. What a fantastic gift. I'll pop back over now to that very first screenshot. The pork pies were $1.72. You're only going to need 2 of these, so you'll have 2 left over. The chorizo and salami were $1.25 each, but actually in hindsight, like I said, I'd have probably just bought the 1 packet of salami. The flips were $1.75. You'll still have some of those left over. The cheese was £4.49, and you could have actually bought the smaller one, which I think is about £2.50. The grapes, I didn't use very many out of either of them, so you could have just bought the 1 packet of that's got the red and green both in, then that would have then cost you $1.94. The Seabrook crisps were £1.50. You'll have a spare bag left over, and then the crackers were $1.25 each, and I'll show you how much now on the screen that makes each gift. £6 per box. What an amazing deal for such a fancy looking present. I hope this has given you some inspiration, and I'll see you in the next video.